The day in the life for me as a drum tech, it's pretty consistent. I have a system that works. It's formulated that works, for myself and Rich and for the tour and for our audio guys. I get up in the morning early enough to get a good breakfast, get some coffee, get my energy up. Because once we dump our truck, it's go time. I need to make sure drum heads are changed if they need changed. We have a lot of pyro in the show, so I have a lot of maintenance to do as far as keeping things clean and getting the dust out of the lugs and out of the rims, wrapping drumsticks, cleaning the riser and the carpet from, wood shards and pyro and things like that. So, I have a system. I check the drum heads if they, I have a schedule. Usually every 3 shows, I change the drum heads. So I get the drums out, change the heads, get them seated, get them polished up. By that time, most of the rigging is up in the air. I have a riser built so I can roll my drum cases on the stage, start building drums on the riser, get them set up as fast as possible. So, I have all the hardware memory locked. I've got spike marks on the rugs for the hardware. Makes my life a lot easier. I don't have to think about where things go. I put it in its place. It's really close to where it needs to be and get it set up. The way our audio guys can set up microphones, they have to mic the whole drum kit every day, run the loom on the deck. It's a lot of work for a guy to do that. So the faster I can get my drums in place, ready to go, the faster they can get microphones up and get cables run across the stage, and we can get a line check and make sure everything works okay. And then from there, I start getting drum sound, so I tweak all the tuning, make sure everything sounds really good in the room. And it varies from venue to venue, inside versus outside. Maybe it's a bigger arena or a smaller arena, higher ceiling, lower ceiling, concrete stage, wood stage, whatever the variable might be. So I get the drums to sound the same regardless of the room, which might mean, I need to tune the rack tom maybe a little bit higher in this venue, because if it's all concrete, maybe it's dead and it doesn't sound very warm, so tune it up just a little bit to get some resonance, so. And I know working for a little over 2 years now on the road, we've had the same front of house engineer and the same monitor engineer. The band has been the same. We've had the same core crew of guys, which is luxury. A lot of tours have personnel changes all the time, so I know what our front of house engineer is looking for. I know what our monitor tech is looking for. I know what Rich is looking for. So, every day I have a goal. This drums need to sound like this. So that it works really well. It keeps things efficient.
What do you do after the show?
After the show, it's but the goal for a backline tech, drum tech, guitar tech, bass tech, any backline tech, your job is to be off the stage ASAP, because the lighting guys have to be in there for 2.5 hours bringing all the rigging in, and those guys really have their work cut out for them, physically, and it's long hours. They've been up since 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're fixing lights all day long and in the heat and working all day. The last thing they want is, why is the drum tech still out here taking the cymbals off the stand? Like he needs to be out of here so we can bring our trusses in and get things out the door in the trucks, because they have 3 or 4 semis worth of gear, and I have 4 road cases worth of gear that I have to break down and get packed in a timely manner and get off the stage and get out of their hair, so I'm not even a thought. So that's my goal, is to be done 10 to 15 minutes after the show, packed, get my cases out on the truck. Our audio team packs the trucks, so we send our gear, the stagehands roll our gear to the truck, and if I get my trunk packed, I say this goes to backline truck, it's in dock space number 2 or number 3, whatever the dock space might be. So they take it, they pack our gear, and then it's on to packing audio gear, because they have the whole PA, they have monitor world, front of house, they have all their power amps they have to pack. So they've got 2 semis worth of gear of their own that they need packed, which our stuff has to go in front of. So while the rigging guys are bringing in PA and sending PA out the door, they can't be waiting on backline to where's the drum cases, where's the guitar cases. We have you have to be efficient.
You gotta be good and fast, and John is bull.
Yeah, and there's 4 backline techs on our crew, and we usually get 4 stagehands to help us break down our gear. So usually, the guitar guys, they have lots of lids they need cased up, and then I'm taking cymbals off, making a stack of cymbals and getting organized. So when I get my drum cases, I can tell stagehands this goes here, this goes here. Meanwhile, I'm putting cymbals away, and I can tell 2 guys, hey, put this floor tom in this spot, put this floor tom in this spot. The kick drum goes here. In the hardware case, start folding up the legs in the hardware.
Or those people are different every day. Those stagehands.
It's different hands every day. They don't know the pack. They don't know the gear. They don't know what comes apart. So it's my job to have everything organized and ready to go, so I can say, put this in the case. I don't have to say, that leave the top half of the cymbal stand buttoned up, but you take the bottom half and then you break it here. Like, that's too much to try to instruct somebody who's they don't know the pack. It's my job to say, put this in the trunk. This goes here, and it's fast, efficient, and I've got a system, and it's my job to rock out of there. It's just.
What about a television show, though? What happens on a television show in New York or LA?
Television show, it's a lot different than being on tour. Being on tour, it's luxurious in the fact that I have the same gear every day. I know how the gear's maintained. I have a consistent maintenance schedule with the gear. I know what everything is going to sound like the next day. I know that all the lugs are greased and there's no rust, So when we do a TV show, we rent backline because we usually, fly into New York City or Los Angeles or Chicago or wherever we might be doing the TV show, and we don't always have our touring gear. So a backline company ships in a drum set and the guitar amps, and I come in, and sometimes the drums are set up on stage, all the stands are out, all the drums are out, and sometimes they're still in cases, and it's my job to get them out of the case, set them up from the ground up. So you never really know what you're going to get. And you don't always have a lot of time. It's a very strict time schedule with TV because we're going live at 7 a.m. So if we get in there at 5 o'clock, we have, say, maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes to get set up, get sounds, get line checked, get ready for the TV crew because they have people coming in to do the TV show and pre-production for the TV show. And I can't be in there, laying on the snare drum or man, this, can I try a different drum or what else do we have for backups? Like, I have to have all of that together, and I need to be fast and consistent.
Plus, it's like 5 in the morning. Right? Like,
yeah.
Lobby call for Good Morning America is like 3 a.m. for the crew.
Yeah.
The band is walking out the door at 5 a.m. and then we're getting sounds at like 5:30 in the morning, and then, it's insane hours.
Yeah.
I got a funny story about The Voice. We did something on before you came along. We had to do The Voice, and the cartage company was late getting our stuff there because of Los Angeles traffic. And so we get there, and the drums aren't out of the cases. The hardware is not out. Nothing is set up. And we were a little bit late arriving because of LA traffic. And the people were on stage, all right, Rich, we're ready for drum sounds. Nothing's out of the cases or anything. I said, guys, I need 20 minutes. And so in 20 minutes, I built a drum set. The heads were, it's just, it was horrible. Tweaked everything up, got everything to where I could make a sound and to get the front of house things happening. And then when I was done with that, I could go back and kind of tweak things, and be crazy like I am, with making sure everything feels right.
And you have to prioritize. Yeah, that's really important for TV. You might not have 2 hours to tweak and make sure everything is just.
You get that kick and snare happening. The toms at a workable level, and then you throw the cymbals up, and that was that show. We played the song called "The Only Way I Know." The only time we had played that song ever. The first time we played it was on The Voice. We ran it that day, and then we did it live in front of I don't know how many million people. And I built the drum set myself, and everything was a stressful day. When people were like, "Rich, we're ready for sounds," and you're like, "Dude, there's no drums even on stage. Give me 20 minutes." But anyway, so it's nice to have you.
Yeah.
You're the man. All right.